Hey, welcome back to the Native Nomadic channel again. I'm Ivan, and today we're on top of Square Butte, and we're going to be taking a look around up top. And if you recall my first episode, we covered the story of 7 Visions of Bull Lodge, and he's an ancestor of mine, and he went to these 7 specific buttes all over the Montana Highline. And it's about a span of about 150 miles. And so today we're just going to continue that story, and we're going to just take a look around and kind of reach the highest point and look for the pin marker and see what we can find. So here is a pretty common spot where a lot of people come just for the view, obviously. And these cliffs are kind of like the main attraction of this place. And yeah, it's a sheer drop off. And some cool rocks down below us. I'm not sure what the elevation drop would be, but try not to get too close to the edge. As you can see, kind of right here, it's kind of like this gravelly marble stuff, so you don't want to get a slide going and have it take you over the edge. A nice little eagle perch there. Oh, don't get too close to that edge there, buddy. Stick my arm out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see that there's just straight drop off. Come on, guys. Get away from there. There's a nice little gravelly drainage. I'm not getting down in there because, like I mentioned before, just the gravel, the small rocks, you know, you could get sucked down in that thing pretty easy and take you right over the edge. So the highest point of this butte is kind of in the middle, kind of the flatter area here. And I believe, yeah, that is the elevation pin here. The survey pin. And we're looking at roughly 3630. Here's some, looks like some concrete blocks with some screws in it. Must have been some kind of a station that was built here in the past. I'm not sure what. So I was walking back to the truck and I noticed this little circular formation of rocks here. I don't know if the surveyors built that or someone used that for some fasting purposes. It's only about maybe 20 yards from the highest point where the elevation pin was. Cool. So we moved on down about half a mile. Yeah, this butte, it's pretty decent in size. And just moving on down closer to the edge again. Careful, peepers. Don't get too close. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Let's see if we could get around this way. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it to you from my other episodes, but I am somewhat scared of heights. So I tend not to get too close to the edge. But I do have long arms. Selfie stick arms. So I chose today specifically. I haven't made an episode in a while, ever since I left the Southwest. Primarily because we had some unseasonably warm winds. I mean, it's really warm today, but thankfully there was no wind, no gusts up to 70. And that's kind of where we've been at pretty much for the whole month of November and half of October. But yeah, today we're able to get up and get out and have some good sound and some good control with the drone. You see I'm wearing some orange, so you know we got hunters out and about. And I don't want to be mistaken for a 6 foot 1 inch deer that's walking on his hind legs and carrying a camera. But yeah, I think this might be our last episode for the winter hits. And then when the weather breaks again in the spring, we'll be getting after it again. So we moved on down another half mile or so down the butte. And some more cliffs. So what this butte is, it's basically like a half circle, probably about a mile long half circle. And there's a few ways to get up this. East side you could drive up, and that's the way Bull Lodge made it up here. I'm not sure the specifics of where he fasted and where he had his visions. It's so vast. I think he just kind of moved all over for the days he was up here until he finally became delirious enough to receive a vision. So now we're gonna start making our way back down. Checked out the top enough, and I think we maybe have an hour of daylight left. When I was reading the book about 7 Visions of Bull Lodge, whenever he started to get delirious from hunger and thirst, and then he started to hallucinate, and each time he did, he ventured always to the east, back to kind of where he came from. And he always mentioned that there was a door that would open up somewhere within the butte. And I'm pretty sure there wasn't an actual door. And but in his mind there was. And when he went to this doorway, he seen like an elder, and then that elder would welcome him inside the doorway that was inside the butte, and he would give him the advice and the knowledge and what to do next with his life and to help his people. So we're gonna make our way down that way towards the east and just kind of see if there's an enclosure, a cave, something that may have think that there was a doorway, or that would open up. So we're just going to take a look down that way and see what we could find. So we made our way down the butte, and you could see the cliffs kind of get a little bit shallower, not as steep, but I wouldn't say I've seen anything from my vantage point as far as like a cave or any type of enclosure. I think I'd really have to get down in there and get a closer look. Right now, our daylight is running short, and when it gets dark around here, it'd be pretty hard to maneuver around. Definitely risking a sprained ankle or something along those lines. And there's levels to this. This is like the top level, and I believe there's a second level beneath us. So we don't have the time right now to explore around and look for any type of a cave entrance. So like I said before, the last 5 weeks have been unforgiving, with wind speeds from 35 to 70 miles per hour. And I wanted to give the viewers back home some decent drone shots. And today blessed us with ideal conditions. So in true native nomadic fashion, let's get up high and see what we can see from above. so we're heading back to the truck, get ready to go home. And yeah, this was the second butte that I covered involving Bull Lodge and his journey in seeking the visions. And yeah, you know, I think maybe next year or next season I'm gonna cover the rest of the other 5 or 4 of them at least. One of them is pretty far from where I live, and I think it's on private property, private land, from what I read. And I'm not sure if I could gain access to that, but the other 4, I think I'll be able to venture around and check it out. And so that'll probably be, you know, for my next season. I got a lot of other places planned and plotted a few courses. And so yeah, you know, if you feel like sticking with me and subscribing, appreciate it much. And if the weather breaks, we're supposed to get our snow here in probably maybe a week or 2. The cold weather, the real cold weather, is coming in about 5 days. So I mean, right now we're roughly about 45 degrees, no wind. It's really nice. So the season's been dry. So it was a really good day to get a final episode in for the season. And like I said, you subscribe, hang out, and we'll have some more fun in the future. So I'm Ivan from the Native Nomadic channel, and thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you on the next one.